enough seats in her house. There are enough seats in Kogi Central for her to sit. She didn't go to the Senate to look for the comfort of a seat. So to that extent, this is where the issue is. So those who are clamoring and shouting about the disobedience to court order did not read the order, the so-called order they are talking about. And the judge was very careful. That's why he didn't give any order, because he was aware, or she was aware, the judge was aware that that matter was already was for deliberation within the House. And at that time they brought it to her, it would have been also against the law. And I've made it clear that the courts can make laws just like the parliament can pass judgments, can issue warrants of arrest. It's in our constitution. It's not a matter for conjecture. It is stated in black and white in our constitution that a National Assembly can, or a state assembly for that matter, any parliament which feels that within its own laws, within its own powers to make laws, anybody has flaunted the law in Nigeria, that person can be summoned. If he's summoned and does not appear, that person can have a warrant of arrest issued on the person from the parliament. That is the duty of a court to do. Right. But the constitution envisages a situation where, in the making of laws, people are going to be obstructed, and it gives those quasi judicial powers to the parliament, as it gives quasi legislative powers to the courts. So no court order was violated. On the contrary, the judge was very careful and was conscious of the fact that he ought not to intervene.
That point is noted, Honorable. Quickly, let's talk about, possible political solution to all of this. And again, I also want you to clarify a point you made earlier, where you said the legislature can regulate itself, but how far is too much, really, especially when the courts have had to wade in and declare suspensions of this nature illegal?
Now, there are situations, and a fusion of time and the passage of time have made our laws and judgments to be reviewed. Remember the Amechi case, where the court awarded this thing on the basis that it was for the parties. But at a later date, the same Supreme Court made other pronouncements concerning that same issue. So also it is that when the issue of 14 days came, is it a constitutional matter? Is it an act? Or is it just by a judgment of a court? If that is so, each court, especially the high courts, have coordinate jurisdiction. The appeal court sits over there, just like the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court can even review itself on account of fresh facts available to it. So if you say 14 days, and that 14 days was just an act of the National Assembly or a judgment of an appeal court or a high court, are you saying that the Supreme Court, if the matter is taken there, will still maintain the 14 days? So it is not about what the parliament has done, or in the past it has been. In any case, the political solution, like you asked, is what somebody referred to as the rigging of the second prayer of the Committee on Ethics in the House, which somebody jokingly said was rigged by the Senate President in his compassion. That second prayer was to the effect that if she brings a letter, a written apology, that she can have her her punishment reduced or vitiated at once. That is the caveat, that is the political solution she has. But if she continues grandstanding and wanting to, the court matter is not even within the purview of the court, of the Senate. It is a matter taken by a private citizen, the wife of the Senate President. She cannot be stopped from proceeding, because I'm sure that if the Senate President attempts to do that, he will not be allowing our democracy to grow. Those matters must be tried. That is why, for example, people keep referring to other cases, because they have never been taken to an end. It is only Reno Omekru had said that he had been compensated in financial terms. So I want to say that the political solution is for her to write that written apology and stop grandstanding, because you cannot, and no institution will allow itself to be so denigrated and to be put in public opprobrium in a manner that will bring us to shame among the Committee of Nations, especially given the position of Nigeria that only recently has been readmitted into the International Parliamentary Union as an executive member through this very Senate President, who has done so well to keep Nigeria on the international map and on the status that it is today.
Honorable Cletus Obon, we thank you for your contributions on Political Standpoint today. Honorable Obon is the former chairman of the ACN and a former lawmaker and public affairs analyst. Thanks a lot once again.
Thanks for having me. I'm sitting, even though I'm on standpoint, I'm still sitting.
Right. All right, and there will be more on Political Standpoint when we return from this break. Stay with us.
Information is power, information is security, information is knowledge. On Labor Lens, we believe that working people around the world have real questions of their own. They want to know how the world of work operates, what it means to the employer of labor, how policies affect workers in the workplace. On Labor Lens, I am sure we engage effectively the organized labor, organized private sector, and government to get out of them information workers are in need of. I am Sharon Ijason, asking questions that make you get sense of the workplace.
Hello, TVC Communications, how can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707 272 8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon. I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur. Welcome to Warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brand, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Hello, TVC Communications, how can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707 272 8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
Meet Benga Oreshegun, a fearless voice and an advocate for the truth. He's bringing fresh energy and bold insights to Journalists Hangout.
Get ready for deeper analysis and dynamic perspectives. Join me and Babajide Kolade Otitoju with other veteran journalists on Journalists Hangout. Weekdays from 5 p.m. and on Sundays 1:30 p.m.
Well, thanks a lot for staying with us on TVC News. Well, to our next discussion now. Fiscal policies, which include government budget and tax reform bills, drive the economic stability of any nation, and Nigeria isn't exempted. This idea serves as the basis for the widespread interest in President Bola Tinubu's 4 tax reform bills to the National Assembly in October 2024, which have now advanced to the final stage after the recent 2-day public hearings. The 4 transmitted tax reform bills to the National Assembly in October include the Nigeria Tax Bill, the Nigeria Tax Administration Bill, the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. Together, these bills would significantly affect revenue generation in Nigeria. There's the question of how these prospects can better position Nigeria to push the frontiers of global economy. Well, for more on this, we bring in now the chairperson, Nigeria France Friendship Parliamentary Group, is also a member of the House Committee on Finance. Honorable Dr. Paul Kalejaye joins me from our Abuja studio. Thanks a lot for joining us on the program. Let's start with how the House is co-opting, or how the House is bringing in and marrying in all the concerns laid by bodies such as NASENI and Customs during the 2-day public hearings on these 4 bills.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me say that, like you're aware and you have stipulated in your intro, the National Assembly has a process at which laws are enacted, and you have said it aptly that we have gone through the public hearing, which is a very major component of enacting a bill or a law in Nigeria. And then at the public hearing, so much concerns have been raised by individuals, by organizations, by even government agencies as to what they think should be contained in the bill or the law, whichever one you want to call it, and those ones they want removed or adjusted. So, of course, after the public hearing, the matter has been referred to the House Committee on Finance, or both the legislative chambers, the Senate and the Federal House of Representatives. As I speak with you, the House of Representatives and, of course, indeed the Senate are already on with the consideration of the various concerns raised at the public hearing. So as we speak, the committees, the both committees are already considering those reports. And until when those reports are fully considered and then brought to the public, it's not incumbent on me to also make so much comment on that. But what I can assure Nigerians is to say that in the last 1 week, we've been working assiduously, in fact, very sleeplessly, to ensure that all of the issues raised are well dealt with. And at the end of it all, we're going to ensure that not only the concerns of Nigerians are put into consideration, we are also considering ensuring that we legislate and make a law that will be all enduring. Remember that the current tax bill that we're operating has been, enacted quite so many years ago, over 20 years ago, if not more. So Nigerians are assured that we will come up with something that is robust, something that is, good for our country, that will not only be, people's oriented, it will also take care of both the rich and the poor. But what is important to us as a parliament is to ensure that we can plug all the loopholes for tax evasion. The law will obviously not allow for tax evasion. It's going to come up with, some kind of penalties and necessary things to be done. Every Nigerian must prepare to pay tax. We all talk about developed countries. We talk about what we see over there. But we have forgotten that majority of the income of those countries are generated through taxes. But particularly if you look at UK, for instance, most of the components of financing their infrastructural development and some other social development are done through, taxes. So while we're not going to see over taxation of the people, but we're going to ensure that we all contribute to the basket that will make us to have well-developed educational system, that will make us have good health care, that will guarantee our infrastructural development, that will take care of our security challenges, and above all, that will take care of the poverty that we all cry against, that will ensure that we have an abundance of resources. Because once resources are generated, they also create further resources in terms of distribution of this wealth to the 3 tiers of government. And once the 3 tiers of government have enough resources to utilize in terms of their, economic, political, infrastructural challenges, it will dovetail into the entire country.
And I'm sure you're mindful of, the various forms of reaction that greeted the announcement of these bills by the presidency. Having gone through the 2-day public hearings, what have been your takeaways?
Pardon, what has been what?
What have been your takeaways, your observations as a fallout from the 2-day public hearings conducted in the National Assembly?
It's fine. The takeaways are very clear. One major takeaway is the fact that they are clamoring that some agencies that are being merged should not be merged, should not be put under one tax, jacket, that they should be allowed to retain, particularly those ones that has to do with TED Fund and NASEMI and others. These are one major takeaway that, of course, that is being considered by the committee. Another major takeaway is the fact that the customs are also crying that, well, we don't have to have a unified, just one revenue collection point for the country. Why should FRS be the only collection agency? But then FRC is not just a collection agency. FRC is not collecting money, it's not overseeing, it's not, taking away the job of the customs. What FRC is trying to do is to have a picture and to have, a global view of all the agencies of government. The customs will still collect their taxes, they will still perform their duties, nobody is taking away their jobs. So those are part of the concerns. And of course, some other concerns are from, of course, the Arewa consultative forums. They are concerned about, inheritance taxes. These are also being considered by the committee. Some other ones are issues of, the military also looking at why they could get some exemption from, taxes, particularly because of the nature of their job, the security, and then the security challenges in the country. These are some of the takeaways from the stakeholders' engagement that we had. But like I said, they are all being considered by the committees of the House of Finance, both the Senate and the House of Reps. And I speak with you now, the sitting is still on, the retreat is still on, and so it will be subsidized for me to make comments about what the findings or what our recommendations will be. Of course, at the end of it all, maybe by tomorrow when we round up or whatever, the chairman of the Finance Committee, Honorable Faleke, Right Honorable Dr. Faleke, will also address the press, and then you can have a snippet of what we're likely to come up with.
Right. Okay. So, as you've said now that both chambers are meeting, and hopefully by tomorrow, Nigerians would know the decision of the National Assembly as per the passage of these 4 bills that have to do with the new tax regime in Nigeria. Seeing as you're also wearing another hat that has to do with, at least where Nigeria-France relations are concerned, somewhat, what's your take on the Bola Tinubu's foreign policy, especially as it also stands with his agenda to boost the economy? How is it looking like from your end?
You talk precisely about the budget. Is that what you mean?
Right. I'm talking about the foreign policy. Before we talk about the budget now, in terms of enhancing foreign policy under the present administration.
Wonderful.
Where is Nigeria headed?
Wonderful.
From your radar?
From my radar, it's clear that the country is taking a major dimension in terms of foreign policy. And when I say major direction, this government is also interested, from what I have seen, particularly in our relationship with France. You want to understand that France, of course, as a nation, has also shown enough handshake to Nigeria. And that explains why the president was able to visit France. And during the visit, there were a lot of bilateral agreements signed. And we have started seeing some of those results. So in terms of relationship, we have always looked directly at the nations that hitherto dominate our landscape in terms of foreign policy. But it's now for us to start having some shifts in terms of nations that are more friendlier to us, nations that are likely to propel and understand our, the challenges of our own economy. So the nation's foreign policy is very focused, is dynamic, and is quite robust in terms of, if you look at the diplomatic shuttle, the diplomatic, engagement of the president. The president has been has been in various international fora, has been in various fora where trade have been discussed, where economy is being discussed. And you can begin to see that, for instance, in Ogun State, just last week or 2 weeks ago, the governor of Ogun State was, hosting, people from other nations who are interested in helping develop agriculture for Ogun State. They were part of the returns from the various shuttle diplomacy that we've been having in terms of international engagement. So we are looking towards agriculture, for instance. So the nation's foreign policy will be looking more on those nations that has to do with agriculture, that also can enhance our technological development. And so what I'm saying is that, in a nutshell, is that our foreign policy has been a policy that has been dynamic. It's not static. It's not as if we want to stay at one point. We want to look at nations that are quite helpful to our, peculiar situations. We have security challenges. We must look up at nations that can also help us in terms of, our security challenges. We have challenges of, all kind of things that we needed to also look at some other countries who can also be of help to us.
Right, and just as you have said, the Nigerian government has also, gone out talking about the millions of dollars, about $50 billion, which it has been able to seal from various international agreements. But in terms of how much this would, materialize for the average person on the street, and where the National Assembly can come in to monitor these engagements and make sure that they bring the needed deliverables to both the economy and for every other ideal. What are your thoughts in this regard?
You see, like you said, for instance, the World Trade Center is organizing an economic summit in France in the next, 3 weeks. And then we, as the Nigerian French Parliamentary Committee or group, are also taking part. What is all about? It's about trade, it's about commerce, it's about new technologies in terms of development. So we're also going to take advantage of that, summit to also be able to propagate Nigeria in that place. Secondly, you also want to understand that when there are gains from such bilateral agreements, it doesn't dovetail into an immediacy. And what I mean by immediacy is that it's not as if just on the street you can need to see the manifestation of those gains almost immediately.
Right.
There are a lot of things that needed to be put into place. The people who are also investing their resources into your country must also be able, yes, they have signed bilateral agreement to say we want to do A, B, C, D, or whatever. But then they must also come down. If you're also doing in their place, you also need to come down. They need to come down and start like what I've said in terms of Ogun State. If they have entered into relationship in terms of our Greek, those are Greek products. Even when they start now, we cannot see the impact almost immediately.
Right.
The ground has to be tilted. The things that are planted has to grow and germinate and all of those things. So that explains why Nigerians may not think that they will be getting the immediate gains of those international, engagements, but over time. And then there is the period you used to plan.
Right.
The planning. Those who fail to plan, plan to fail, and those who, so it's vice versa.
Right.
The period of planning is always there. You want to have a baby, you must be period of mating. There must be period of when the baby will be, in the womb for 9 months.
All right.
When the baby is delivered. So that is what government is all about. It's about planning, and then when you plan, you execute. And when you execute, you see results. So 3 stages must be complete. So in terms of whatever the gains are, people will see, obviously.
Right.
This regime is a regime that is concerned about promise and do.
All right, that's all we have time for our conversation. Dr. Paul Kalejaye, we thank you very much for speaking with us on Political Standpoints today.
Thank you very much for having me.
And that's a wrap on today's edition of Political Standpoint. We thank you all for watching. I am Kemi Fola Adeyemo. You can watch repeat broadcast by 11 p.m. tonight and 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching and bye for now.
The Inspector General of Police has met with senior officers to review the state of security.
We are continuing our coverage of the arrest of Godwin Emefiele.
The Senate has summoned the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria to properly brief the Senate regarding the state of the economy.
What I will never take is threat.
Let's now bring you more development from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where an explosion has taken place. Tell us about this incident.
TVC News. First with breaking news. Yobe State in northeast Nigeria has witnessed steady growth in many sectors in 3 decades of its creation. With a decade-long Boko Haram insurgency subsiding, the administration of Governor Mai Balabone is building on the progress recorded by past administration and executing new projects and programs to deepen development and the pride of the Sahel. Watch as Governor Boni consolidates the achievement of his administration on Impact Yobe. Impact Yobe. Saturdays 8:30 p.m. on TVC News.
Meet Benga Oreshegun, a fearless voice and an advocate for the truth. He's bringing fresh energy and bold insights to journalists' hangout.
Get ready for deeper analysis and dynamic perspectives. Join me and Babajide Kolade Otitoju with other veteran journalists on Journalists Hangout. Weekdays from 5 p.m. and on Sundays 1:30 p.m.
You're watching Beyond 100 Days with Nifemi Oguntoye. President Tinubu, since he assumed office,
we are on our way to progress.
6 out of the 8 APC federal lawmakers.
I have a movement structure that's going to take back our party in Enugu State. Because this one I'm saying is tales by moonlight. It's not working.
So I'm wondering what you think or who you think can stop him now.
He doesn't own the party.
One of the causes of inflation is because people cannot go to the farm.
The government still needs to do more so that people can eat.
I believe what clamoring for is more responsible use of social media. Not that people just go in there and think that they can say anything to anybody.
Tinubu is not one who believes in the simple. I mean, he wants to get it done. He will face it. He will get it done.
Yes, the president, from inception of his administration, focused squarely on diversifying the economy and driving in investments to cushion the effect of everything that we've seen, ranging from COVID-19 to the global commodity shocks, global financial crisis, and all of that.
I was privileged to have worked under a governor who believed in the system, who also built up the system, and I'm going to do same.
All right, that's our show today, everyone. Thanks for being a part of it.
TVC News, first with breaking news.